Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Sigval here and welcome back to another video. In this one we're going to talk about the Just League Dark theme. What is the Just League Dark theme? It's a selection of characters that will be introduced in the game after Zatanna, because in the message that we get about Zatanna being introduced in the game, it said that she's gonna be the first member of the Just League theme. The Just League Dark theme. So it's only safe to assume that we're going to get other members of the Just League Dark theme. If you do a quick Google search on Wikipedia, you can find that there's actually a list of the Just League Dark team members. And there's a movie. I think, first of all, there were comics, because that's how it usually starts. But me, as a man of culture, only watched the movie. And I'm going to kind of keep only the movie for the most part in mind as I talk about this video, and we're going to talk about what characters we might get introduced to complete the Just League Dark theme. And we're going to look at images in this one, because after spending around 5 hours in order to download the movie, crop specific parts of the fight, edit the video, talk about it, Warner Bros. Decided to copyright claim it. So we're going to look at images in this one, because Warner Bros. Doesn't allow us to have fun. They even copyright struck the trailer, because I was like, okay, I'm just gonna use the trailer as background. Nah, bro. Even the trailer, my dudes. But yeah. With that being said, I'll not give spoilers to the plot of the movie, so if you want to watch the movie, it's fine to watch this video, and I do recommend the movie. It's a very good movie. With that being said, let's get into the Justice League Dark team members. First up, there are a few normal Justice League team characters in the movie. First up, there's like Cyborg, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, which all got a total of added 2 minutes screen time, which we're not gonna talk about because they're clearly secondary characters. And then we have Batman. And I'm not gonna talk about Batman either, because it's just Batman. It's not magical Batman, it's simply Batman being Batman. And while I wouldn't mind a new Batman character having synergy with that team being added to the game, I'd rather have them add the characters that we don't have yet in the game. There are very interesting characters in this team. But yeah, there's a Batman in there, but it's just normal Batman. Not gonna go in depth about Zatanna, because we already got Zatanna, we even saw some leaked gameplay, so we know how it goes. Something that I'm sad she doesn't have is that in the movie she has some point where she enters a very, very powerful form, which she can't really control, but it's extremely powerful, and she can transform, she can materialize out of nowhere a giant sword, and by giant sword I'm talking 4-story building giant sword, and I'm very sad that we didn't get any interaction with that final Zatanna Unleashed form. Other than that, what you are going to see in the game is pretty accurate. Now, getting into the proper characters that we might get in the Just League Dark theme. First of all, we're going to get John Constantine. And I'm not gonna go too in-depth about how you would want the characters made, because I ideally wanna make a separate video about those characters. But at the very least, I was very excited and wanting to do that before spending 5 hours of work to no avail, but we'll see how that goes. I most likely will do it. But John Constantine, in the movie, he doesn't really do much. Like, what he does in the movie is that he is able to get into someone's mind and watch their memories, and what he does is just throw fireballs. He hits out some fireballs. Like, John Constantine doesn't seem like the type of character that's going to get in the meat of the fight, and to be fair for him, all the characters that they fight were above his power level, so rather than heroically charging into it and getting knocked out, I'm talking about you, Green Lantern, he decided to play a backline role, harassing the enemy and planning out strategy to defeat the enemy. So that's as far as his part goes in the movie. But John Constantine is a very powerful magic user, and would love to see him in the game. And a lot of you guys actually want to see John Constantine. I've seen a lot of requests for him whenever I did a video about new characters to be added in Just to Mobile. So yeah, can't wait for that one. Next up, we have the Deadman. So the Deadman is basically a ghost. That's the simplest way to put it. And what he's able to do is, in the movie specifically, fight other ghosts. And at the same time, he can possess human bodies in order to use them for a while. Don't know for how long. And in the movie, he used that in a defensive manner in order to help people. For example, at some point, some people were being chased by a demon, and he possessed them in order to help them escape and increase their chance of survivability. And he can like switch from one body to another in terms of possession kind of quick enough. So that's as far as he goes. Would be definitely interesting to have him in the game, even though he's not on my top 3 characters that I would love to see out of this list. But he would be interesting to see the mechanics for, because would be great to like have him as a base character, and he's got a pretty garbage kit, but he's got the passive that allows him to possess the enemy, and then you're going to take over the enemy and over their skill set, but have heavily boosted stats in order to make do with whatever you have at your disposal. It would definitely be interesting to see. Then we have Jason Blood, or Etrigan more specifically. This is the character that I'm most excited about, actually second most excited about, as we'll get to see in a second after this one. But Jason Blood is basically a knight that has lived for hundreds of years because he was possessed by a demon. Actually, they have an agreement or something, because like Jason Blood was dying and a wizard put the demon Etrigan inside him, and he's been living for hundreds of years. So he's a normal human for the most part, and just he can't die, and he can transform into the demon Etrigan. And Etrigan is the real deal, my dudes. Like, he can spit out fireballs, he can breathe fire, he's very strong, he's very durable, and he's got a sword that he can set ablaze, and he always talks only in rhymes. It does not get more Chad than this. This is the pinnacle of DC superheroes. At first, like, it might not seem great at first, because at first I was like, oh, what's up with this dude? He's ugly, who likes Etrigan? But the more I saw him, the more this character grew on me. He's amazing, and I would love to see him introduced into the game, and he's most likely the ones, alongside with John Constantine and probably the next character we're going to talk about, have a separate video on how we would love to see those characters implemented. Next up on this list, boy, oh boy, we have Swamp Thing. Who would have expected? And I would be so damn happy if they introduce Swamp Thing in the game with the Justice League Dark theme, because they have done heavy injustice to Swamp Thing in Injustice 2 Mobile. Yeah, befitting the name, am I right? But Swamp Thing in DC in general is a very strong and interesting character, and in this movie he absolutely slaps. Like, they fight against, let's say, the final boss of the movie, and that guy beats the crap out of everybody, including Green Lantern and Wonder Woman, and John Constantine is like, hold on, I'm gonna call a friend, and he calls Swamp Thing, and Swamp Thing almost beats the crap out of the antagonist. Not gonna say who he is, or what's the conclusion, because I said I'm not spoiling the movie, even though I did a bit. But yeah, Swamp Thing is insanely strong. He can materialize huge vines out of nowhere. He's basically at some point like a tsunami that goes towards the enemy, but a tsunami made out of branches and vines. It's just absolutely insane. And for something I would love if they considered the second movie, he's the second character, or the second movie makes sense, because in the second movie he's got wings and he goes toe to toe with a Doomsday clone. So basically Darkseid clones Doomsday and makes all his minions with Doomsday DNA, and they beat the crap out of Superman. But Swamp Thing takes on multiple of them at the same time while having wings and flying in the air. Is just insane. Absolutely insane. If they don't make something legendary character and honor the meme, this is the biggest wasted opportunity in the history of Injustice 2 Mobile, and I'm gonna have a video about how I would love to see something implemented. Though I think it's too much to ask for wings, because they didn't put wings on Golden Armor Wonder Woman, at the very least not in combat, so they either can't implement it or they're too lazy. But yeah, let's go. The meme is real. Legendary Swamp Thing. And the last character that I thought it was worth mentioning is Black Orchid. So what's Black Orchid? It's John Constantine's house. Not sure if it's his house, but it's the house that he stays in, and it's a magical house. And this magical house basically has the possibility to manifest a corporeal form, and it has a personality. And by the way, would definitely smash. She's not really fighting for the most part, but yeah, I thought it was worth the mention. Out of all this list, I think that we're least likely to see Black Orchid and Deadman implemented. Black Orchid because she doesn't play a huge role, and Deadman because I don't know how they would exactly fit in the game. But I would love to see Etrigan and Legendary Something. And John Constantine is fine as well, don't get me wrong. Like, you know Etrigan and Something are something when you're like, oh, John Constantine is fine too. But yeah, all that being said, this was for this one. I'm very, very sorry that you're unable to see the video that I first made with the scenes from the movie. Very unfortunate, especially on my part, because of all that wasted time, but what can you do? Thanks so much for watching again, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye!
This is the future.